Curtis Samuel on the move. The ex-Carolina Panther signs a deal in Washington, 3 years, $34.5 million. Not only to catch passes, but every once in a while helps you out in the run game as well in Carolina. And how about reunited, and it feels so good. Not only is he reunited with fellow Buckeye Terry McLaurin at the wideout position, but also reunited with his old coach in Carolina, Ron Rivera. I'm reunited and it feels so good. Jamey Eisenberg, love the smile. Our fantasy analyst of the year. All right, so look, Terry McLaurin is the #1 guy here. Most boards you have him somewhere between 9 and 15 on the wide receiver boards in a PPR. What does this move do for Samuel in terms of where you think around he'll be slotted? Or is this just sort of switching uniforms, but he's about the same guy on the same board?
I think he's going to be about the same guy. You know, the thing about Curtis Samuel is he's kind of a gadget player. Like you said, you can use him in the backfield. He is going to be their #2 receiver, and I think this is a good landing spot for him because he's not a #1 guy. Look, he's not an alpha, but he is a very good secondary piece. And as we saw last year, finally getting the opportunity to showcase his full skill set. Now, with Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's going to be a lot of fun because you know Fitzpatrick's going to go Fitzmagic and give him the opportunity to make some plays. McLaurin's going to be the guy that leads the team in targets, but he could be second. Now, the second receiver last year, 48 targets. That was Cam Sims. This is clearly an upgrade. But where does Logan Thomas lose? Where does J.D. McKissick lose? Where does Antonio Gibson hopefully gain? But I think it's a good landing spot for Curtis Samuel. I think he's going to be a #3 fantasy receiver. He's going to have the opportunity to get some carries out of the backfield as well and sort of help Antonio Gibson and McKissick. But this is a good spot for him because I think he could be around 80 targets, get some carries. He'll have the opportunity to be productive in this team.
All right, so who does this affect? Like in a negative way, right? I mean, there's a ripple effect to everything, or in a positive way. Obviously, the first question is, what does this do for him, Curtis Samuel? But what does this do for anybody else on any other team, whether it be Carolina or Washington?
Well, Carolina's interesting now because you lose Samuel, and who's going to be the third guy for them? So hopefully we see a little bit more from DJ Moore, especially in the touchdown department. Robbie Anderson was really good for them last year. Hopefully he benefits as well, but they're not done filling out their receiving corps, so we'll find out who's going to be the third guy there. So somebody will hopefully benefit. Let's not forget, they're getting the best running back in football coming back with a healthy Christian McCaffrey. So that's going to be a guy that is a big weapon for them that they didn't have for the majority of the season last year when he was replaced by Mike Davis. And then you go to Washington, and so you saw a big season for Logan Thomas. First time for him at 29 years old having a breakout season. Can he replicate that? Well, Fitzmagic doesn't necessarily have the best history with tight ends. He's played with some good options, but he hasn't exactly made those guys great. Mike Gesicki, one of his better tight ends that he's played with. Scott Chandler, once upon a time in Buffalo, had a decent season with Fitzmagic. And we saw some spurts with other guys in different spots when he's had the opportunity. So I don't think Logan Thomas has the same season, so maybe Curtis Samuel takes some targets away from there. You've also seen Ryan Fitzpatrick not necessarily lean on his running backs. He's a guy that likes to throw the ball down the field. So J.D. McKissick coming off a huge season, he's not going to have that same type of production. So Samuel will win there. So for Washington, Samuel will take away, I think, from the tight end, take away from the running back. And then in Carolina, I think you're going to see both the two wide receivers who played well last year maybe get enhanced a little bit. Let's not forget, they're in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Maybe they get a quarterback upgrade as well.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.